Adam Wilde, TJ, and Jax.
Very fun, isn't it?
Okay, let's go.
All right, Monday again, I guess.
Here it is.
Official last day of summer. It's going to be 18 degrees today and sunny. Tomorrow will be much nicer. Tomorrow on Wednesday, 23 and 25. So it'll be beautiful. We have got through the cold snap in September, which actually wasn't that bad this weekend.
No.
I'm sorry, what?
Get out and go for a walk. Well, okay, so Friday night, Jax had a party. Jax had a party on Friday night.
Yeah, it gave us all pneumonia.
And like wouldn't let us come inside.
I would. I just had to clear up and get everybody cozy.
And by clear, like it would have been it would have been fine under the new rules and everything. There was like less than 10 people there.
Yeah.
But we're like waiting outside. She's like, "No, I've got to clean the kitchen." And we're like, "Can we just come in and help you clean the kitchen because it's freezing out here?"
Felt like that scene in Star Wars on Hot.
Yeah,
it was frozen around us. I had to open up a tauntaun.
You guys are drunk and chaotic. I had to clear things up first, okay?
So this morning, Destroy Your Debt at 7 and at 8 o'clock. We also have Where's My Money? You never heard of that? It's like Ghosted, except, hey, someone owes you money and we make the phone call for you. That's at 7:30. Right now, though, let's check in with everybody. TJ, what's on your mind?
The weather this weekend, despite Friday night when Jax tried to freeze us to death, was absolutely beautiful.
Stunning.
And I was out on Saturday having a nice afternoon walk, had a coffee in my hand. The temperature was perfect. I was liking my outfit. I was having a really grateful afternoon. I was just smiling and walking down the street. Then I get a message on Facebook from my pal Ruby. He's like, "Hey, I just saw you walking down the street, but I didn't stop and say hi because you were smiling really big and I didn't want to bug you." And I was like, "Oh, so now I'm too friendly."
Are you normally scowling? Is that the problem?
I think so.
All right, Jax.
I want to give a shout out because Zendaya made history last evening at the Emmys, the youngest person ever to win an Emmy in the drama series, of course, for Euphoria.
That is a great show.
In case you have never watched Euphoria, beautifully done. And congratulations, very dark, and congratulations to Zendaya.
Producer Jesse.
There's a flight to nowhere from an airline company in Australia that costs $500 and it sold out in 10 minutes. So this flight to nowhere just takes you through the airport, you fly up in the air, you do like a little tour of Australia, and then you come back down.
What?
Cool.
I love airplanes. I would do that.
What?
I love jumping on airplanes.
Oof, thanks.
I love going for a drive. I could drive for hours, and I love getting on an airplane. I hate the thing that you have to do before the airplane, which is go through the entire airport and all the security and all that. However,
the act of flying.
Love the act of flying.
Well, you're never going to fly again. So there you go.
We got trending coming up in about 15 minutes, and if you're part of our early morning crew, which means you're up right now, you can hit us up anytime. 999 and 416-872-9999. We'd love to talk to you.
If you don't wanna see me.
Virgin Mornings.
With What's Trending.
And this is what's trending right now.
Ontario is now limiting gathering numbers in all cities and towns from 10 inside and 25 outside. And that's in every part of the province. That was announced on Saturday. They also announced there's a $10,000 fine for illegal gatherings for the host and $750 fine for the people who attend. So they are not screwing around.
No kidding. Wow.
The new Toronto sign is up and looks absolutely beautiful. I think it was last week we were talking about how they took the one down that's been up since 2015. And the funny story about that is it went up for the Pan Am Games. It was only supposed to be up for a couple of weeks, but people liked it so much, and frankly, it was a good tourist attraction that they kept it up. So the new sign was unveiled on Friday, and it features a new vinyl wrap on its outer edges, as well as improved lighting. And the sign is more waterproof and graffiti resistant than its predecessor. It's pretty much the exact same, but better. And it's still showcasing the medicine wheel and the maple leaf in the lettering.
Awesome.
And yesterday, of course, were the Emmys, and they were a little bit unconventional due to COVID and whatnot. But we got to give a huge shout out to the Canadian Connection. Schitt's Creek won 7 of the 7 awards it was nominated for last night. Just outstanding. And they had their own little Emmy party at Casa Loma. So that was pretty cool. And a huge shout out to Zendaya. Euphoria did very well last night too, but she became the youngest person to win an Emmy in a drama category at 24 years old.
Not a girl.
That's amazing, actually. And that show, by the way, both of those shows you mentioned are great. Schitt's Creek is so much fun. And I actually remember it ran in Canada. It's been running here for years, right? But it only came on in the States a couple years ago. So they were all given the whole series all at once, right? Which they totally binged. But in American radio, they're not allowed to say Schitt's Creek.
Oh, really?
They're actually they had to call it Blank Creek when it launched because it launched on Hulu down there. And I was listening to a radio show and they're like, yeah, we can't actually say the name of this. So, and like they were talking about how great it was, but they couldn't say the name of it.
Well, I remember when it first started. It's funny you bring that up. That they had to bleep out the name.
Did they?
First. Yeah, and I gotta be honest, I'm still nervous saying it. But
really?
No.
Oh, I think
definitely
people
cool
get it.
about it, man.
I think people get it.
Schitt's Creek. Okay.
Yeah,
That's what's trending. I'm TJ.
Thank you, TJ. So just over an hour from now, you get yourself $100,000. The question I have for you is, how would you spend that? How would you save that? How would you invest that? Because now you're an investor with $100,000, are you not? It's 99.9 Virgin Radio.
Virgin Mornings with Adam Wilde, TJ, and Jax.
On 99.9 Virgin Radio.
So we almost launched TikTok over the weekend.
No.
There was a ban instituted this summer by the American government, and then they gave it 45 days to sell to an American company. So what's happened is a company called Oracle, which I'm sure you've heard of, and Walmart have both invested in it. Oracle has bought 12.5%, Walmart 7.5%. So this way, Oracle can host the app in the United States and secure all the data, because that's what they're worried about. So what the thought was is that because it was a Chinese company, even though it was a private company, that they were filtering North American data, specifically American data, back to China. So they were really worried.
Security concerns.
Yeah, 100%. Now, the companies always claim, like, well, we're not a government app. Like, it's
We just like to see people dancing.
Yeah, exactly.
But they do collect, like TikTok does have that. They do collect a ton of analytics,
Well,
like in comparison to other social media platforms.
But what
like,
app doesn't, right?
Yeah, everybody's doing it now, right?
Yeah, they got a lot though, man.
They
Just
do,
saying.
and it's worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see now, like, because I wondered, like, what's Walmart going to do with TikTok, right?
Roll back those prices.
Are they going to be like, well, our CDs are $7.99 here on, you know what I mean? Like, what is
They
it?
said they were going to help with the commerce part of it, so I assume that means like they'll control the majority of the advertising.
Oh, okay.
That would be my theory.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, what are they going to do?
Yeah, that's the thing. I just don't understand what the plan is there. It'd be interesting.
I feel like it was just okay. Well, we're Walmart. Let's get this too. You know what I mean? Like they own a lot.
Yeah,
so why not?
we're wealthy.
Yeah.
Let's get wealthier.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, and I just wonder how I think the important question for this too, with Walmart being involved, is how does this affect the Walmart at Dufferin Mall? Right?
Ooh, yeah, good question.
Nothing can touch the Dufferin Mall
it's
Walmart.
the most notorious Walmart in the city.
It's beautiful. The produce section is hit or miss, but I mean, the service is always incredible. Let me tell you what, it's always busy, and I always get anxious. No reception in the basement, though. Let me tell you what.
no.
Yeah, once you go down those escalators, it's a free for all.
That's why you got to have your downloaded playlist ready to go. So when you get down there and you got your music on, that you're listening, you can't stream it, right? You got to keep to the playlist that you downloaded.
It's not my playlist I'm worried about. I just want to text someone in case I'm lost or
That's what it is.
know.
You're worried about getting lost in the Walmart.
among many other things down there. Yeah, we won't go into that.
It's 99.9 Virgin Radio. Rockstar.
Adam Wilde, TJ, and Jax.
On 99.9 Virgin Radio.
Kanye West has been pretty vocal on Twitter lately, but this time he's outlined a plan for how the music industry should change their contracts.
Okay.
And it's really interesting because obviously this is something that Kanye's got a lot of experience with. And though he's been a bit erratic lately, let's just be honest.
Yep.
This one he's probably nailed right on the head. Now everybody's like, this is brilliant. This is stuff that people have been suggesting for years. Kanye's not the first to come up with this, but he does have a great platform for it. Number one, he wants some of the things he wants changed. The artist owns the copyright recordings and songs and leases them to the record label publisher for limited terms, as in like 1-year deal. So the way it works right now is if you sign with a record company, especially if you're on your first contract, they own all of that. They own the tapes behind, like all the recordings. They own everything that you produce. So you're producing things for the label under your name.
Which is essentially what happened to Taylor Swift, right? She signed her first deal when she was 15, 16, something like that.
10-year deal,
10-year deal. And then that's why she couldn't perform any of her older songs.
So you're looking at that and you're thinking, well, why would they sign that contract? Well, because you've worked your entire career and somebody's finally offered you a recording contract, you're going to take it, right?
Pumped, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's sort of what happens. Number two, the record label / publisher is a service provider that receives a share of income for limited term. The split should be 80 to 20. As in, the artist gets 80, the record label gets 20%. Now, from the outside, you're probably thinking, well, that makes a lot of sense. Except the issue with that is that it's probably the other way.
Yeah.
And record labels are already having a tough enough time making money right now because, there's no record sales anymore.
Yeah.
So the issue becomes, how do you keep them afloat? Because what record companies do for you is they distribute, which used to be a bigger deal than it is now, because distributing is just posting it online.
Yeah.
But they now put together things like your album art and your promotion, and they fly you around to radio stations and television stations so you can promote things. And they basically front the cost of creating your project, and then you sort of have to pay them back. And that's the way it's sort of working right now. So he's saying, yeah, you could have a revenue split, and that would, for Kanye, that might work. But imagine you got a brand new artist, and it takes them a couple albums to get off the ground.
Yeah.
That happens, right?
So when I release my album, it doesn't make as much sense as when Kanye releases his album.
That's right.
I'd have a really hard time talking to a label.
He then goes into talking about dependence. So artists must be dependent on no one but themselves. Sometimes, I guess you can list your manager. Is that sort of thing,
Yes,
or whatever?
yeah.
That's not really the most interesting point. Lawyers at number 4, and this is very interesting. And I think anybody would agree with this,
Yeah.
although this is sort of impossible to do.
It's a great theory.
He said the first thing that changes under my plan is that record deals about record deals is actually lawyers. We need plain English contracts. Lawyers' role is to improve deals, not charge for contracts we cannot understand. Rewrite the deals that are understandable from the first read. The problem with that is that not everybody reads at the same comprehension.
Yeah.
Not everybody agrees on what's readable. So you have lawyers because they have their own language that's at least readable to them. So there's a common ground there.
Yeah.
And yes, they charge an absolute fortune.
But it's worth it in
But
the
it's
end,
because
yeah.
that's the common ground. So if you were to say, I need you to, if I have, let's say I'm a brilliant artist, but I've got a grade 3 education, it's impossible for me to say what's readable because I wouldn't be able to read that much, right?
See, I needed you to go through this list on why this may not work, because when I saw this over the weekend and yesterday when he was tweeting it, I was like, excellent. Yeah. All of this sounds wonderful.
It does sound wonderful.
In the land of love and sunshine, this is going to work.
Right.
However, we aren't in the land of love and sunshine.
We are not.
And we are slowly getting so far away from the land of love and
getting
sunshine.
cold, isn't it?
I know, it's getting chilly, isn't it?
And again, it's nice that these are all great things, right? I'm with him on that.
Yeah.
It's just that it's not feasible.
Yeah.
And people are like, wow, he's brilliant. And it's like, no, people have been asking for this for a long, long time.
What a good idea.
Yeah. And he said, lastly, and I'll just drop this last fifth one. He said, equity and blanket licenses are the majority of the new future income. So if you're with a major label, he calls them a major, but a major label, you have invested your songs as shares in their power to get equity in deals. Almost all new deals are based on all songs going to a store or app. The equity is for the artist. Basically, he wants to go on and essentially make these songs all profitable, which is great. Again, great if you're a big artist. Remember that, and I know everybody likes to hate on the record label after a while because their first contract becomes onerous, and like Taylor Swift's, right?
Yeah.
She lost control of all of her demos.
Yes,
and by the way, Kanye West said, I'll get Taylor Swift her demos back. I'm sure Taylor was like, no,
Leave
it's okay.
me
No,
alone.
man, I'm good.
Yeah.
Just stop talking about me.
Stop.
But, they have to front the costs of developing this artist into what they are, right?
At least he was excited on Twitter yesterday, though.
That's a good point.
You know what?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I might be better on my own. I hate
This is Virgin Mornings with Adam Wilde, TJ, and Jax.
On 99.9 Virgin Radio.
One of our favorite people is Cardi B. I don't know how you don't. I don't know how you don't love Cardi B.
You don't.
And last week we found out that she was going through divorce.
Yeah.
Been through it. It's rough. Really, really rough. And and it doesn't even mean you're not getting along with your ex. You're done. But the divorce process sucks.
Yeah.
It just really sucks. So it was interesting to hear her on Friday night. She went on Instagram Live and she started talking about it. And 170,000 people tuned in, which is insane. That's just the people that were watching at one time.
Yeah.
It's been hundreds of thousands since. And she wanted to thank her fans and that sort of thing. But I thought it was really interesting when she said she'd not shed a single tear.
And prayers and everything that you guys been sending me. And I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you so much. However, I don't really need it. I'm okay. I want to let y'all know I have not shed not one tear. Every single time that, this guy had done something so crazy and it hits the media, I'm always crying. I'm always stressed out. I'm sad because this time I wasn't crying.
I love that. And like people, I saw a couple folks tweeting last night, well, like maybe she's just, masking it. It's like, no, she's gone through this for years.
Yeah.
And this is her healing now. Like this is her moving on and saying, I've had enough. And like, I hope that they, co-parent really healthily and like that they can maybe have a friendship. But like, she's over it. And like, as she should be. And good for her.
And good for her. To your point, Jax, people really underestimate Cardi B.
Yes.
And like her level of intelligence, but not only like her emotional intelligence as well.
Yeah.
She seems like a very emotionally intelligent person.
Man. She's badass.
I could relate to this a little bit, and I think a lot of, if you're responsible about the end of your relationship, which sounds like an odd thing to be, at a certain point sometimes, and you don't have to be married to do this, you have to call it and say, this is over.
Yeah.
And it's ending because we're just not on the same page here. And she said, I got tired of arguing. I got tired of not seeing things eye to eye when you feel like it's just not the same anymore before you actually get cheated on, because that's what inevitably happens.
Yes.
People will disconnect. They'll stay in the relationship and then there's an affair, right? And she said, I'd rather just leave before that happens.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy out of this world happens. Sometimes people just do grow apart. I have been with this man for 4 years. I have a kid with this man. I have a household with this man. Sometimes you're just tired of the arguments and the buildup. You get tired sometimes, and before anything happens, you leave.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, more people should do.
Yeah.
If a lot of people will tell you that they hung on too long.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, like, personally, it's sort of like I don't hate my ex-partner at all.
No.
In fact, I think she's great and she's an awesome mom. And like, that was one of the things we had to talk about. It was like, we are no longer on the same page here.
Yeah.
And so we gotta call this what it is. And you know what's great about it? Is you get along afterwards.
Yeah, and it doesn't become unhealthy and
you don't
toxic
hate each
and
other.
really hurtful and damaging.
Yes.
Imagine.
Exactly. Flip side of that, my parents were together for 30 years and they don't get along very well after their split. So it's like, why drag it out longer than it needs to be dragged out?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And sometimes it's worth working for. Sometimes it is. I'm not saying it's not. Sometimes you go, okay, well, so this is over. And just because you're married doesn't mean it's not over.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah.
So good on Cardi B. Wishing her the best.
$100,000.
Trending.
And this is what's trending right now.
Did you have a chance to check out the iHeartRadio Music Festival this weekend? Because holy cow, what a show. And Miley Cyrus absolutely slayed her performance. There was performances from a lot of people, but everyone was talking about Miley. She closed out the show. She opened with Blondie's Heart of Glass, moved into Nothing Breaks Like a Heart, then Who Owns My Heart, and then finished with Midnight Sky. She did her performances by like a giant disco ball, and everyone was just in love with her. Yeah, it's Miley season right now, for sure. BTS performed as well, and they had amazing reviews as well. Just what a show. Donald Trump gave his blessing to a proposed deal that would allow TikTok to partner with Oracle and Walmart and form a U.S. company. So we were talking about this earlier, but in the summer, Donald Trump had a problem with TikTok because it's a Chinese-based app and there was some security concerns. So he gave the app 45 days basically get purchased by American companies so that they can have some data here. Now that has happened. It broke on Friday. They weren't sure if it was going to be done by Sunday, but he gave the okay. So the good news is all of our favorite people on TikTok, a lot of them live in the States and they're still going to be able to create content, which is
safe and creating. Good.
This Halloween could be a lot spookier this year because of a very rare blue moon. Oh no! Is the moon made of blue cheese? No, friend. It's just a blue moon. According to the Farmer's Almanac, Halloween 2020 will be illuminated by a very rare blue moon. That means many things. A blue moon represents balance, beauty, and grace. Perhaps prompting us to take more responsibility than usual. Make everyone happy.
None of those things have happened this year, so it would be nice. Be nice if that blue moon actually did something. I know it's
bud,
just. I know it won't.
Bud, no. I've had enough already. You over there sitting with your arms crossed. I've had enough. Now, the saying "once in a blue moon" isn't actually that accurate because blue moons do happen more often than not. However, this one falling on like Halloween on October 31st because they never actually fall on the last days of the month. That's why it's spectacular, and that's why it's going to get spooky and transitory.
You've said nothing. Literally nothing. Yeah.
But meaningless.
Like, really?
Listen,
transitory. What?
You go drive your silly truck, and I'll believe in my silly moon. Okay.
All right.
One of it's healthy. One of these things is healthy for the environment. Okay.
You know what? I say we just go outside and let these two alley cats sort this out. How about that? That's what's trending. I'm TJ.
Hey, just after Lizzo here, you're going to have your opportunity at some real money, $100,000. We're giving you the keyword for Destroy Your Debt next.
I do my head talk.
Virgin Mornings with, of course, this happened in Toronto.
Good news, Brampton. You are not our provincial shame place anymore, at least for this weekend. Police had to shut down an impromptu car show in a Cineplex parking lot in Hamilton this weekend.
So we have to rename this, of course, this happened in Hamilton?
Of course this happened in Hamilton.
Waterfall capital of the world.
Great.
It's true. Look it up. Look it up.
Also, car bust capital of the world. What happened?
Yeah, nailed it. There was apparently 500 vehicles there.
Like, stop it, Hamilton.
And this happened like hours after the government made the announcement that they were limiting outdoor gatherings to 25 people. And there's videos of it all over social media. It's all over the news right now.
Is this to show off your car? Like, you've got a nice car?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like one of those, it's like a Fast and the Furious event.
Cool. Is there drifting?
No drifting.
Okay.
Not yet. Officials confirmed that nobody was arrested during the event, but officers shut down the party and sent everyone home.
Oh, you better go back to your bedroom.
Yeah,
For all of you.
You guys better take it back to the garage.
Just a reminder, by the way, that there are some pretty hefty fines involved in this stuff. So maybe don't have a 500-person car show.
What are the fines again? They're
I think it's $10,000 for the host of the party, and this varies a bit, and then $750 for people that were in attendance. That's for like house parties, so I'm not 100% sure what it would be like for if you were the person that organized a car show in a movie theater parking lot. It's having a big Saturday, huh?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, let's go look at a whole bunch of Civics.
More like
that one has lights underneath it. How neat.
I'm a car person. I love cars.
Maybe you and your truck should head out there.
Would not go to that. Would not go to that. No, it's just not the right time, but I do love cars. I get it. Listen, I want to see the Civic with the lights underneath, okay?
Get some spinners for your truck.
Stop it.
Want no smoke with me.
Virgin Mornings.
With what's trending.
And this is what's trending right now.
Ontario is limiting gathering numbers in all towns and cities now. The numbers are going to be limited to 10 inside and 25 outside in every part of our fair province. That was announced on Saturday. Also, the $10,000 fine for illegal gatherings for the host and the $750 fine for people who attend things. So, you know what? Maybe just follow those rules or you're going to be out some money there, friend. The new Toronto sign is up and looks absolutely awesome. So last week we talked about how they were taking down the old one, which was put up in 2015, and it was only supposed to be up for a couple weeks prior to the Pan Am Games, but everyone loved it so much, and frankly, a lot of people, it was a big tourist attraction. So it became a permanent part of the city, but it was not meant to be. So they replaced it with something that's a little bit stronger, so it has a better vinyl wrap on its outer edges, an improved lighting system, also has more waterproof and it's more graffiti resistant than its predecessor, which is super cool. And the Emmys were last night, and it was a bit of an unconventional Emmys because of, the whole pandemic situation going on. But the big story was the Canadian connection.
Yes.
Schitt's Creek went 7 for 7 for the awards they were nominated for last night.
Such an incredible
Set
show.
a record.
Yes.
It did.
Yeah.
Just outstanding. They had their own little Emmy party at Casa Loma, too, which is really awesome. Also, a show called Euphoria did very well last night, and one of the lead actors on that show, Zendaya, became the youngest person to win an Emmy in the drama category at 24 years old. What were you doing at 24?
Smoking weed.
Well, what's changed then?
I don't smoke weed anymore.
You were in Halifax?
Yeah, I was in Halifax.
Yeah.
No, I was being good. I was on doing the evening show on The Bounce in Halifax and working at a Lebanese restaurant by day.
Wow.
Unlimited hummus, good food.
Yeah, no kidding. Good for you.
What did you have to come on once an hour and say when you worked at that radio station?
The Bounce.
And that was it?
Yeah.
That's what's trending on TJ.
It's now called Virgin Radio.
That's
so if you're
right,
ever in
baby.
Halifax, there is a Virgin Radio Halifax there as well. Listen, we are a couple songs away from you getting another keyword for $100,000. 8 o'clock. It's waiting for you.
This is Virgin Mornings with Adam Wilde, TJ, and Jax.
On 99.9 Virgin Radio.
Normally, when a celebrity opens up about their divorce, it's a very generic sort of statement, right? That's what you get, and you can't really fault people for that because honestly, divorce, I've just been through it. It sucks. It's just awful, and and I had an amicable one. But there are a lot of them that aren't. And Cardi B, I got to give her full marks because she is as honest as they come. Here's what she had to say on Instagram Live about her divorce, which was announced last week to Offset.
And prayers and everything that you guys been sending me. And I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you so much. However, I don't really need it. I'm okay. I want to let y'all know I have not shed not one tear. Every single time that, this guy had done something so crazy and it hits the media, I'm always crying. I'm always stressed out. I'm sad because this time I wasn't crying.
So that's the interesting thing. No tears shed.
Which some people are saying, you know, oh yeah, she's actually really hurting and she's just trying to cover it up. But like this woman has been through tumultuous things with this man on and on and on and on and off and off and off and off.
For years, yeah.
So it's like maybe she's just done. Maybe she just wanted to get ahead of it. Maybe she's already felt those feelings that people think she should be feeling right now. You know
Sometimes relationships are over before they're over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you kind of get that
Yes.
impression with Cardi where sometimes you'll just be in a relationship and they'll say something and you're like, I don't know why, but that's it. You know? And you're like, maybe she just had that moment. Maybe he peeled a bit, a banana or something a weird way.
I
and
mean,
she's
I
like,
don't know.
I don't like the way you brush your teeth.
you chew so loud.
I don't think it should be that simple, but yeah.
Well, it's the straw that breaks the back, right? And here's the thing. She said later on in the Instagram, I just got tired of arguing. I got tired of not seeing things eye to eye. When you feel like that, it's just not the same anymore before and then she goes on and things. She said nothing out of this world happened. Like she mentioned that there were some rumors about him having a baby with another woman. And she's like, that is not true. Completely not true. There was no affair. It was, she's like, I was with this man for 4 years. I have a kid with this man. I have a household with this man. Sometimes you're just tired of the arguments and the buildup. You get tired sometimes before something happens.
That's right.
You leave. And you know what? I think being a responsible adult means sometimes going, we probably have to call this.
Yeah.
You know, and that's even if you're married.
Okay.
That does happen.
Yeah.
Well, we said this earlier, like how many marriages are just like dead marriages walking right now, right? Where they're like, oh, this ended a long time ago. It's just nobody wants to say the words.
Right. 100%. 100%.
Get ahead of it.
And you would have probably walked away had you not been married.
Yeah.
So anyway, I wish the best for her. Shocked and surprised at how honest she is, but I guess it's Cardi B, right? She's going to be like that.
She'll be fine. She'll be fine.
Anyway, you have 1 minute to text DRIVE, DRIVE, for Destroy Your Dad. $100,000 on the line. It's Kane Brown.
I might be better on.
Is Virgin Mornings with Adam Wilde, TJ, and Jax.
On 99.9 Virgin Radio.
I'm just trying to figure out what the protocol is on dating apps for this, okay? So you're a parent. Do you specify that you're a parent?
I think you should.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, why?
Because it's weird if you don't.
I mean, kids take up a big part of your life.
Yeah.
Like, you might want to be upfront about that.
I'm not saying you should post pictures of your kids.
No,
But that was actually something like when I was creating my Bumble profile where I was like, do I mention this? And then it was weird because it crossed my mind. I'm like, are less people going to right swipe me because I'm a dad?
Interesting.
Look, if they...
And that's probably okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, because if they're not into you because you're a dad, then it's not going to work out down the line. Like, that's just, like, that's indicative of a future problem, right?
But you did just ask a really fair question, Adam. It's like, why do you have to mention it? And I don't really think there's a real rhyme or reason to it, but if you don't mention it, it sounds strange, right?
It would seem a bit sneaky, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It's sort of like, what are you trying to get past
Sneaky
me?
dad. Sneaky dad.
Yeah. Like, okay, so I'm putting it in so if I am, even as a dad, if someone I swiped with, matched with, went out with, didn't tell me that they were a mom, I'd be like, that's weird, right? I feel like that would be weird. But it's funny when you're in that position, you're thinking, how much of myself am I gonna reveal? I don't owe you anything.
A few years ago, I went out on a date with a girl, and we were, chatting and stuff like that, and everything was going good. We met on Bumble, and when we got out and went out for a drink, she mentioned her daughter, who she had never mentioned before, nor did she have any information on her. Like, and you don't have to, like you said, have pictures of her, like, say how old she is or anything like that. But her mentioning that she had a daughter would have been important, because it's not going to bug me either way. But if it does bug somebody, but like it was weird that she didn't tell me, and that kind of threw me off.
You should probably put how many weeks old she is. That's probably the right method.
78 weeks.
Proud papa to a 68-week-old bundle of joy.
47-month-old bundle of joy.
Yeah, I'm at that point now where you're in the 6-month increments. Yeah. So you don't say she's like, you say she's a year or a year and a half.
Yeah.
But if you say like 17 and a half months, you're kind of a jerk at that point, right, I think?
I will say this to you, though, Adam Wilde.
What would you say?
Is that nothing bad can happen from you mentioning Everly, because she is far cooler than you are. And she's a selling point.
She does nothing but help.
Okay, so the actual question I have is, and it's a larger thing. It's more than just...
Yeah.
Because again, it's been a long time since I've done this. So what do you have to reveal on your dating profile? Like, I want to compile the list, and if you got these, 416-872-9999 or 99999 to text, okay? What do you have to reveal? What has to be accurate about you other than the funny comments that you make about yourself? Do you know what I'm saying?
take a credit report's pretty.
Oh, stop it! No.
You know, like
I know a lot of people straight up. They just ask you what your height is.
Yeah.
Women love to know what your height is. I don't know what it is. You can't get height extensions. You can wear platforms, I guess.
Age is important.
Age is important.
Yeah, age is important.
So why is age important? What, you've mentioned that before.
Yeah, I just think that age is like it's something, and I'm gonna call it. Some of the lesbians lie about their age. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Really?
They do. Yeah, they do. They say
Why?
that they're. I don't know. It's like especially in the later 30s, they say that they're in their late 20s or early 30s.
Oh.
Yeah. This is just what I've heard, anyways. No, but I don't know. I'm 32. I'd like to know how old somebody actually is. Like, because if they're like 26, I probably won't go on a date with them. I'm telling truths out here. Okay, you guys are looking at me like,
no, I got one, but I'm a little nervous to say it. So
just say it.
Bear with
You're
me.
live on the radio. What can go wrong?
If you have any dietary restrictions, like if you're vegan or if you're gluten free.
Well, vegans will tell you.
Vegans.
Celiacs
Vegans
probably
will
won't. Vegans will for sure tell you.
It's just nice to know, you know, like if you're planning a date, like you want to make sure you send them or you bring them to like a place that they can actually enjoy something.
You can ask that in a conversation.
So I went on a date with someone and they came over to my place and it was really harmless and innocent, but I'm like, I'll make a charcuterie board. She didn't eat anything. And I was like, what did I do wrong? And then I found out later she doesn't like deli meat. I'm like, that would have been good to know. Thank you for that.
I agree to the charcuterie.
Yeah, exactly.
90% deli meat.
True.
Anyway, listen, give us a shout, 416-872-9999 or 99999 to text. Information you gotta have. It's gotta be accurate, bare minimum stuff.
New music on 99.9 Virgin Radio.
These are the things, the list of things that you believe have to be on a dating profile and accurate. Okay? Have to be things besides all the funny stuff that you put in your pictures and that sort of thing. I need to know these things about you, if you have them or do them or whatever, before we're going on a date, because they can make or break. And, you know, Jax, you mentioned age.
Yeah.
I mentioned, like, hey, do you put up that you're a dad?
Yeah.
Like, those are kind of the details we're talking about. So we were asking you about that. TJ, what are the texts saying?
Text from the 289. Intentions. You gotta say if you're looking for hookups or long term.
True.
See, I disagree with that because if you put hookups in your profile, that's a huge turnoff for a lot of people. I think you can
even people who are looking for hookups don't want to hook up with the hookup person.
Yeah,
it's weird.
It's weird, right?
That is not true. No,
100%.
No, that is not true. If you are looking for a hookup and you see somebody looking also for a hookup, usually you'll hook up. How much wood could a woodchuck chuck? You know what I mean?
Tell me about that, Jax. What do we know?
I don't know.
You seem to have a fairly intimate knowledge of this.
I'm just saying.
Let me rephrase this. When Adam and I put up looking for hookups in our profile, it did not work.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like straight Tinder and Bumble are different.
Probably,
than like Grindr, etc.
Yeah.
Text here from the 905. Pets. I want to know if you got a pet.
Yeah.
But who is it? Like, if you have a pet, you're putting it in your profile. Who doesn't want a little furry friend in their photos? From the 416, smoking.
Oh, I think that's important. Yeah, I think you got to know that. I think you got to know drug use too. And I'm not talking about weed. I'm talking about the recreational stuff.
Yeah.
I get to know a little bit about that.
Like 420 friendly, or like if you're sober. A lot of people say that they're sober.
420 friendly is not a thing anymore.
I know.
The entire country is 420 friendly.
420
that's like saying I also drink a beer. Like it's I think the news is if you don't.
Yeah.
If you don't drink, I think maybe you want to mention that. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable.
This one from the 905. You should definitely say if you have a nut allergy, because if you kiss someone who ate nuts that day, chances are you may have a reaction.
That's a really good point.
She's just thought about that.
List your allergies and your pets.
And your pet allergies.
And the last one here from the 905, I think makes the most sense.
Okay.
You got to see their feet before you go on a first date. No exceptions.
I don't want that.
Is that actually
I don't want
that's
that
a
text.
legitimate text?
I don't want that text in our inbox ever again.
Okay.
I hope that is true.
No, here's the thing.
So
you can't go asking people for feet pictures. I don't know who needs to hear this, but you can't ask for feet pictures.
And there are safe places for that.
Sure.
But not.
But don't. The arena is important, right?
Yes.
It's Virgin Radio.
Damn.
It's trending.
And this is what's trending right now.
Holy crow, how about that iHeartRadio Music Festival this weekend?
Woohoo.
What a show. Lots of fantastic performances, but the one that stole the show and everybody was talking about for the last few days, Miley Cyrus winning hearts and minds.
The Hun.
Absolutely slaying her performance. She opened with Blondie's Heart of Glass, then Nothing Breaks Like a Heart, then Who Owns My Heart, and finishing with Midnight Sky, playing under a giant disco ball.
Amazing.
Just an outrageously good performance. BTS got some fantastic reviews as well. Donald Trump gave his blessing to a proposed deal that would have TikTok partner with Oracle and Walmart to form a U.S. company. So the too long didn't read version of the story is in the summer, President Donald Trump said that he wanted to basically ban TikTok from the States because it's owned by a Chinese company and there were security concerns and whatnot. So he gave the app 45 days to find a U.S. buyer to host the information there, or basically just have a U.S. stake in it. And that came down on Friday that they found a partner in Oracle, but they were worried that the deal was going to be blocked by the deadline on Sunday. It wasn't. It's approved. So all of our favorite TikTokers can still create content, which is good news.
Love.
And tonight at 8 p.m. on CTV, brand new season of Jan kicks off. I don't know if you've been seeing the promos for this. It looks very, very funny. And we actually just had a chance to talk with Jan about season 2. And we were asking her about the cliffhanger of season 1 and if people have been bugging her for the answers for it.
I do these cameo videos for charity, and you can go on and you can book like a 3-minute video. I've had 4 or 5 videos of people that have forked out, I don't even know how much it is to book me, like $60 or something. And I've had like videos that coming on going, I want to support the animals, I want to support the animals, but also what happens, in the first episode, or what do you do? Do you end up with, who do you end up with? And so it's funny. People are willing to pay $60 for me to help animals, for me to give up the goods. And it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
So $60 isn't going to do it, but what if, and hear me out, we all pulled together $75.
Ooh.
I mean,
I don't know if we need to go to 75, but like we could go to 61 first. Let's not get...
Janet's not a cheap date. Come on now.
Can't lowball her and offend her. Is this your first negotiation?
Come on.
Yeah,
That's what's trending. I'm TJ.
Thanks, TJ. All right, so just after 9 o'clock, Robin's taking over. And then at 10 o'clock, destroy your debt. I'm just going to give you a keyword. You and $100,000. What would you do together? Several dates, I would think. It's 99.9 Virgin Radio.